Welcome back to Fear and Beer, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. Join us as we venture year-round into the fog.
Make sure you give us a like and a follow on your podcast platform of choice. Also, be sure to check out our YouTube page where we upload every episode in its video format, and maybe a few other surprises as well.
Make sure you're following us on social media to keep up to date with our newest haunted content.
I'm Nick.
I'm Seamus.
I'm Jamie.
Here we are, 3 weeks away, I think. 3 weeks.
Something like that.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
I can't count, though, so don't ask me to give you a right answer.
I'm always so bad with, counting on calendars. I'm like, do I count this day? Does this week count? Does next week
Right, and we're recording things out of order, kind of.
We're
so it's
all over the place.
The episode you're going to listen to, the night of opening night, we recorded 2 nights ago, so it's really I'm all miscombobulated.
Yeah, these we are already in the midst of kind of pre-recording and getting all of our 1 week till HHN Podathon affairs in order. We've learned over the years to finally combat it ahead of time a little bit, because previously we did not. We were on the fly. We were recording 5 episodes in one go, and it was just it didn't come out the best. those tail end episodes were like, oh yeah, we talked for 30 minutes and none of it made sense. So we are getting our feet wet with the 1 week. So we do have a couple episodes already locked and loaded, ready to go. Very fun, very exciting ones so far. We have some different ones. Maybe at the end we'll go into our lineup of what we got this year, because some stuff is still in the air, some stuff we're waiting to hear back from, but I think we have everything locked down as best as we can. So we'll go into that at the end of this episode. This one is going to be a little bit of a shorter one because, well, we're saving the good stuff for the Podathon, baby. But no, there's some Scare Zone updates to talk about. We officially got food booths as of this morning. So we're going to kind of talk about the updates through all the Scare Zones, and we're going to start to try to theorize and hypothesize what these food items or food booths could be. We kind of know what these first two are, and I have a feeling that more will pop up tomorrow. And we'll go through IP by IP, because typically those all have a food booth. So I'm curious if you have any ideas for certain food or drink items that could be served at these, because I got a couple, but I really haven't sat down and thought about it. Obviously with the Podathon, all of us have been kind of pushing all of our ideas onto paper for those. And then these kind of in between episodes have, I don't want to say fallen to the wayside, but they're more reaction than planning versus our typical rundowns and whatnot. So that's what we got going on tonight. I also am out of beer. The Podathon has run me dry. I didn't get a chance to go out today. Boots had to go in for a little dental surgery today. So he had to get he had a little extra, I forget the term for it, but he had a baby tooth still on top of his adult tooth. So we had to finally bring him in and get that thing yanked out. So I got to go spend money at the vet instead of the liquor store, unfortunately, which
of course,
for better or worse, whatever. I'll load the fridge up a little bit with some cheapies for the remaining episodes. And fuck, we are close. We are so close. It is crazy how fast July came and went, and August is already a week in. We're moving and grooving. So we're going to skip the beer stuff. We're going to go right into stuff. And we also have a fun little announcement in regards to next week's episode, or lack thereof. But we are trying to do something different and fun. So we'll talk about that at the end. That's my cue to Seamus to also remind me about it, because I'll probably just go right into the outro and forget I mentioned it. So let's go into these Scare Zone updates. As of now, the intro to the park, the Origins of Horror, now has 2 trusses set up. We have one that is seemingly placed right behind the gate to get into the park. It's pretty tall. I think it's taller than last year's. I'm assuming that is where the Halloween Horror Nights neon sign is going to go, right up front and center, versus kind of walking into the park and going under it. And then a little bit behind that, this is set up kind of right. This is set up on the corner right before that turn to Hollywood, but there's two trusses of the same height, and they look to be maybe 6 feet apart. It's not like what we had the last couple of years where it's like this big squared off one. This one seems like they're a lot closer. I'm thinking that this is going to be sort of a conservatory entrance. I think this is where they're going to have like the stained glass on the outsides and the top of it. So you're kind of walking into the conservatory. They made a point of that when they're talking about scare zones and everything like that, that you're going to be walking into this thing. So that's a fun little entranceway, I guess. That it's kind of sad when you think about the last year where it's like, oh no, this was the whole scare zone. No, this year is just the entrance part. There's a whole zone after it. This is kind of like what we had last year, minus the drapes. But it's hard to say we're excited about trusses, but they're there. Stuff's happening every single day, so I'm excited for that. Do you think that will be like a domed off like conservatory? Do you think they'll wall it in a little bit and have us walk through it or walk into it?
I don't know. I think it'll be more like it has been, where they've had the drapes and the Halloween Horror Nights sign. I think you won't get any of the conservatory stuff until you walk further into that avenue, that first opening there. I mean, you can see from the construction photos that like they clearly have the stained glass motif like in there, and I think that's where you're going to get the majority of the walking through the conservatory is when you're walking down that first you call it the Avenue of the Stars, whatever they call that there, which is cool because they're actually utilizing that space again, which it's been years since they've done it. So the fact that they're doing that now shows that they're expanding it beyond just the entrance truss and that's it. So that's kind of cool. But I do think that opening truss will just be like what it has been. Maybe they do it up a little bit more. It looks kind of like stained glass, but I don't think it'll be any massive construction project more than what we've already got.
Yeah. So once you walk in through that, like you said, we're in sort of the Plaza of Stars, Illumination Avenue, whatever they call it nowadays. But we have 4 like little, what would you even call these things? Like I want to say like hut, but it's not.
Yeah, they're like alcoves, I guess would be the word I use.
Yeah.
But obviously you're going to have like specific scare actors probably within them in some way.
Yeah. So I think this is where they're going to have, because they made mention of like carving statues of the IPs.
Yeah.
I think each one will be like an IP because there's little hidden details in these little things. So the first thing to note, obviously these giant fog machines and fog tombs are back. They are behind each little stand. But the stained glass, do you notice anything about the imagery on the stained glass itself? Because I didn't really fully realize this until recently.
I mean, I see obviously one of them is a flower for Terrifier. I mean, I'm sure they're all IP related in some way, but
so I think these are all the different flowers of the code names.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's true. That could be it.
So that's pretty cool little tie-in. I mean, obviously they tie in the code names kind of loosely to sort of either the property or something within the house, like a hidden message that we don't necessarily know until we go in or see what the property is.
Right.
And then we're like, oh, it makes sense. But I think this is a fun way. I feel like we haven't had a reference of house code names outside of the houses. So this is a fun little addition that they decided to throw our way.
Yeah.
Now, at the back end of each of these little units, if you zoom in on the kind of window grid, like iron grids, each one has a different symbol. So each of the 4 that are out there have different symbols. So I'm trying to connect these all. There's 2 that I think are pretty obvious. There's, I forget the locations of them, but one of them
looks like Freddy Fazbear.
You're looking at the one I'm looking. That's 100% Freddy Fazbear. It's like 2 little circles on the top right, top left.
Yeah, it looks like Freddy Fazbear.
So that's got to be the Five Nights one. The one that looks like Pokeballs reminds me, I think, vaults. Like
Could
the
be.
vaults, the
Yeah, I mean
connections.
that could be it. I'm trying to think of what else it potentially could be.
And unless Pikachu's here, I don't know.
No, you might be right with that one.
Well, especially because the TV series, it was the three vaults like connected. It was like 31, 32, 33, I
Yeah.
think.
Yep.
So I think that's that. Now the other ones, I think the one that kind of looks like almost like a tree, I could see that being Jason because of the little triangle on the bottom and the triangle at the top. That's kind of the triangles on his mask. And the little circles could be like the holes in the mask or the eye or something like that. Um, so I think that's that one. And then the other one, it looks like two C's like reversed against each other. I
Yeah.
mean, my only guess was they kind of look like sixes, so like why it's six.
Yeah.
But those two are kind of more guesses than anything. I think the Fallout one and the Five Nights one are a little bit more obvious, but the details, like that they thought this all through pretty intensely.
Yeah, they're going pretty all out when it comes to the detail work from what we've seen so far.
All out for Fallout, baby. So let's continue. We're going to go through scare zones. Like I mentioned, there were two food booths that popped up, and we're going to walk right by them because that's a whole different discussion point. So we're going to head to New York now, where they have added a car accident. We are seeing the accident that has caused the mutation, I'm assuming. There is a truck, which let me pull it up because somebody commented on our Instagram, which was pretty cool. I can't verify this at all, but if it's true, that is very interesting. Somebody commented and said the BizCon truck was our dad's. It's a 1932 Ford flatbed 1.5 ton dually. You're a car person. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, well, it just means it has a dual axle on the back, so instead of just the single
Okay.
tire, there's like two tires on each side. That's why they call it a dually. It's a dual axle.
Ah, okay. Interesting. So pretty cool.
To be fair, I didn't even know they made what looks like I don't even, I'm not looking at the comment, but I don't know what year the truck is. But if it's like a 1930s-ish Model A, or at least Model A style pickup, it may not be a Ford. It could be something else. But I'm not. I'm kind of a car person, but not exactly an expert. So I didn't know they made dual axles of that truck. But it does look cool. I like how they're tying in the BlizzCon thing. Like that is a cool callback to Bugs, and maybe we're gonna get more in this world. Like going forward, maybe we're gonna get more from the BlizzCon lore or canon.
Something.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of reminds me of like the Daredevil accident. How he
he went blind.
jumps in front of a truck full of chemicals and goes blind. But
They happened to hit him just in the eyes.
Right. So that's kind of cool. I do like they have like the police car. So they're really kind of like tying in the theme and making it feel 1920s.
Yep, and they have like with that little accident, they have what looks to be like a old school like telephone post too, like cracked. So it's like, oh, we're creating a little bit of atmosphere around it as well. Interesting too, the whole BizCon thing. Obviously, this is all BizCon, BZZZCon. But in that original press release on these scare zones, it said there was this whole uproar because it referred to it as BuzzCon. And we had that little theory of like, oh, well, maybe they had to rebrand or whatever because the incident. But no, back in this time now, we're in the 20s, it's called BuzzCon again. So I think that was just a mishap on the marketing department, just typing BuzzCon instead of BuzzCon.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
And now people are left wondering, like, what the fuck is BuzzCon? Like they probably, the creatives behind it were probably reading it and being like, wait, that wasn't in our script. Was that autocorrect? Like,
Right.
What happened there? So it is officially BizCon, and obviously, like you mentioned, tying directly into the company or whatever from Bugs Eaten Alive. So New York's getting a lot of this. I believe the BizCon, that's the last time I'm going to say that word. I believe this was the first time that it was actually present in the scare zones today, printed on the truck itself, and the containers in the bed of the truck.
Yep.
So now, other than that, we also have this little florist stand, which looks pretty dilapidated. I can't tell on the left side if that is supposed to be maybe them spewing the acid or whatever, or if it's vomit. I'm thinking it's a mixture of both. I'm thinking a scare actor is going to be in there vomiting out the toxic waste, or maybe they got splashed with it and they're getting it's corroding or blinding or something like that. I think that's going to be a fun little scare zone-y interaction point, which would be fun. But you already mentioned the police car. There's a police car right out in front of the mummy locker area. And then when you follow down the road, there's this little stage set up, which is, I'm trying to figure out like where we are. I get it. It's just like little props or whatever, but it looks like a back alley with it says stage door. So I don't know where we're supposed to actually be in this world at this set, but there's obviously going to be a scare actor up there and there's going to be some sort of interaction. Now there's also more towards the little alleyway. There's a newsstand, periodicals, and there's a whole bunch of different little newspapers with headlines on there. Toxic City, BoozCon, damn it, I said it. Beacon Industries responsible, question mark. So it's clearly tying everything in. And then the other one, the American Daily News, reports that bank heist causes pandemonium. Getaway car crashes into Beacon truck. And then Beacon spill is the final headline on the late dispatch. Oh, there's a saltwater taffy. I didn't zoom in on the candy.
Oh.
I wonder if that was made from sweets. Does it say
Froze
on
up.
there? Oh, and we're back. And I'm back, I think. So there's actually candy on there too. Oh, and it was made in Cary, USA. If you zoom in on the gum, the chewing gum.
Oh,
Cary,
was it?
USA.
I was zooming in on some of that stuff to kind of see if I could see anything that.
So bottom right, it says Cary, but I was looking for Major Sweet stuff. I was curious if they were going to tie in.
Yeah, I mean, there is saltwater taffy on, so maybe that's going to tie in.
Taffy's from Bugs. Or not Bugs,
Yes.
Major Sweets.
Yeah, so it'll probably tie in.
I should have looked at that one a little bit closer because I didn't even think to look at the stupid little candy bars. But this is the amount of details that they are putting into it this year. But it seems that they are made in Cary, Ohio. So that's an interesting tie-in. If they do retcon this and say it is Major Sweets candy, then that means the candy factory is in Cary, Ohio, which would make sense.
And it also happens right on Halloween weekend too, October 29th. All the papers say October 29th.
I didn't even look at that part. 28. Huh. So if they use the 1932 truck, there's time travel involved now.
Well, so, right. Yeah. That's the other thing. Like, it's supposed to be based in the 1920s, and it's a 1932 pickup. So I think that's not what they were, not their intention. But
yeah. Oh, well, we'll see. But there is one final set piece in this scare zone as of now, and it looks to be a bunch of wooden barrels, maybe some sort of distillery, bootleggers. I'm assuming that is
probably some sort of prohibition.
Yep. A little gangster shootout or something like that. So,
well, because I have a feeling it's supposed to be all like, I know it says like the toxic 20s, but it's going to be a lot of gangsters. So there's going to be a lot of Tommy gun action, a lot of like, you see, like that type of thing. It's going to be really,
you weasel.
Yeah, it's going to be. So there's going to be like, obviously the bootleggers are part of it. I'm sure you're going to have guys walking around looking like the Penguin.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So that's New York as of now. I'm getting more and more excited. It is funny because we did record one of our episodes already for our 1 week, and we didn't really have all of this information with us. I don't think it would have affected my list because this is kind of what I suspected anyways. So it doesn't really hurt or help my decision-making process in that. So going all the way back, San Francisco, I didn't really notice anything new today. I think it's not getting a lot of set pieces. I would assume maybe none because it's the Club Horror. I think it would be cool if we added some stuff over there, but as of now, it looked pretty blank. So going up back through the cat lady zone, this keeps getting more and more crap. They keep putting more stuff in here. So since we last talked, they added a lot more vine work, which is a common theme now throughout. I don't know if there was any in the New York zone, but it is pretty prevalent in the Hollywood zone as well. But the greenery and like almost hay and dead vines has been added there. There's a lot of yarn now, large yarn kind of strung about various props. There's also a bunch of little milk jugs and kind of glassware with milk, obviously for all the cats. More and more props. We don't need to go into everything, but they have yarn balls and they also have hairballs, these disgusting giant hairballs on the ground. And that is outside of what seems to be a little one-way mini scare zone path, which is, it's got yarn on it, it's got cat toys in it, and it has a couple open boo holes. So we're assuming there's going to be some characters in there, and it acts as a 5-second walkthrough, but pretty cool interactions. I think since the last time we've talked, the cat lady's house has fully been erected, put up. We have the little house, we have a porch, there is a side yard with a gravestone and a dirt pile with a shovel in it. There also is a little side entrance to the house with like chicken wiring. And then on the left side of the house, stage right, is a fire pit with a cauldron. And this got to be the biggest set piece I've seen in this zone. It's huge. It's massive. It's going to be a big thing. I can only assume Cat Lady of Crooked Lane is going to be on there. I'm kind of hoping she has a hot mic. Do you think they'll let, or do you think it'll be like pre-looped audio?
That is a good question. I don't see any triggers on this, but that doesn't mean they won't add them.
Yeah.
So she could be hot-wired to a mic, but who knows? I would be kind of cool because we haven't had like a show element in a scare zone in a couple of years. Like I think the last big one was Conjure the Dark. I don't think we've had anything like that. So it would be kind of cool to have a scare actor who's more of a live actor and can use the microphone to like be more interactive with the crowd rather than just doing the typical tap your foot and hit a trigger or something like that. And it would be kind of cool if they have like periodic like mini shows, like a 5-minute, like kind of like you did with Conjure the Dark, where like it would be different. They did a couple different ones, I think. Yeah. So it would be kind of cool if like they incorporate her in with some sort of show element, and her cat children.
Yeah. So the next little point I have that is, I think, pretty interesting. So if you zoom in on the little dirt pile area, there is a small piece of the grass area that's like this black tarp that looks like it's just stapled over an opening. And I thought, man, this is like, there's got to be something in here, right? Like you got to maybe pop out or scare it, because like it's not ground level. There's a lot of space in there. It looks like, depending on how they built it underneath, it looks like it could be, a lot of space under there. So I kind of did some sleuthing around. I walked behind. And if you look at the very back part of the yard, essentially, there's one panel that if you look at the very bottom, there's a wooden black ramp piece that looks like it walks up. I'm assuming this whole stone piece is a door that will open so somebody can come in and come out, scare actor wise. So do you am I looking too much into this, or do you think somebody might be popping out of that?
Maybe a little bit. I think this might just be
storage.
This might just be not even storage. This might be a fog gun, machine.
Okay.
And having fog come out underneath the house. But you could be right. I mean, maybe they are going to encompass some sort of like scare element there. But my guess is it's probably just going to be fog.
Yeah, it could be fog and like a light shining up through that hole.
Maybe a light or something.
Okay. Damn it. I was really on to something. I thought it was. I saw it and I was so proud of myself. I was like, oh, this got to be it. This has got to be. But yeah, so that's the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. So now our final scare zone that we can talk about is Hollywood. Hollywood, like I said, got a lot more greenery. There's also clearly some very disturbing things put into the scare zone because they are already tarped off. So if you are walking into Hollywood through Cat Lady of Crooked Lane, so we're starting kind of reverse here. You have one that's set up that has these little, looks like metal garden chairs with a table of sorts in between the two. But again, it is covered with a white cloth. So there's got to be something grotesque on that little table. The other stuff that we got, where am I at? I lost my photos. Sorry, I was going the wrong way. We have these candles that have been placed on top of what we assumed to be either, torches or candle holders or lighting of some sort. Melted candles have been added to add to that sort of Victorian dark style Gothic horror. And obviously a bunch of greenery. There's these little gargoyle statues that have been added. There's also a champagne glass tower with a big metal rod coming up the top of it. Now, typically when you see these, it's a champagne bubble sort of thing. You pour it at the top and it kind of drips down as a fountain.
It's a champagne fountain.
Yeah. So I'm expecting something of that sort to act, whether that's automated or just
it's probably just going to be like a water fountain
running thing. I
it
think
just
so
runs,
too.
Yeah, my guess. But like cool lighting and stuff.
So that's that. We have a chair that is.
It could be it could be red.
Oh yeah,
because if they're vampires, masquerade of the dead, so it's probably going to be like a blood fountain.
Yep, that makes sense. Yep, didn't even think of that one. That one's good. And then not the final stage, but one of the other stages has a really beat up chair, and then two set pieces that are covered up. One is very clearly another chair, and the middle piece looks like, I would assume, just like an end table of sorts. But there's got to be some sort of dead body torn apart on that other chair that's covered.
Yeah, or just like you have a dummy and a live actor vampire who's like biting the neck of the dummy or whatever.
Yep. So, and then the final stage, which is by the entrance, it's got the little crow on it, has a large table with what looks to be like a body probably laid on the table. I did see, I think, some bugs of some sort, like fake bugs, on the ground underneath it, whether it was larvae or roaches. I think it was larvae, if I remember correctly, because at first I thought they were fingers. So this has got to be some sort of gross, ripped open, decomposing body that they're sort of feasting off of. So that is the Hollywood Scare Zone Masquerade Dance with Death. Lots of stuff. They're loading up these scare zones, which makes me even more excited to see not just the scare zones, but the houses. If they're putting this much detail into the scare zones, then we are in for a year. Do these get you any more hyped? Does this change your opinions on any of them?
No, I don't think so. And I like to make my hype list without really knowing anything about them anyways, so it doesn't really change it, I don't think. I still think where I have it is where it's going to stay. But I am more excited to see one of them. I won't give away which one it is based on what the pictures look like, so that is kind of cool.
Yep. So other than scare zones, we had 2 food booths pop up, both over in the New York area. Just 2, only 2. I expect a couple more. Maybe 2 more tomorrow, and then they'll probably pick back up on Monday. But these are over in the New York area. One is very clearly the Firefly Funhouse, because you have the clouds in the sky. It's painted blue like the Firefly Funhouse. There's the door that Bray would walk through, and then the windowsill where Abby the Witch would typically be sitting. So we have that. And do you want to introduce the next one?
Yeah, and we have a Fallout booth. Because it's got a Fallout Vault 33 vault door on it. And, I mean, I won't lie to you, it's not exactly like, it doesn't scream Fallout. But the vault door obviously gives it away. I do like this vine work that they kind of get going on everywhere.
Yep.
So it's going to kind of tie everything in, which is kind of cool. So it's going to kind of tie in all of the different IPs and different originals in with this like decaying conservatory motif. So that's really cool. But yeah, this is clearly the Fallout booth that we're going to have. And these are both right down that aisle between the New York Central Park and I don't know what buildings they are, but
I'm so bad with the names. Yeah,
yeah, but like basically the fake New York buildings. But we've had those couple of those booths every year for the last few years now.
Yep. So when it comes to these food booths and these IPs, let's kind of go around the horn a little bit then. So Fallout, is there anything that stands out to you that you're like, we think maybe we could have as an item?
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to
Nuka.
Yeah, so we're going to get Nuka-Cola, some sort of Nuka-Cola drink, whether that's just a soda or some sort of, it's probably going to be a mixed drink, I would imagine. Like they'll do some sort of like cherry flavored mixed drink and they'll call it like the Nuka whatever. Yep. I'm sure that will be there. I do think we're going to have some sort of, I keep saying Radroach skewers because Radroaches play a big role in the show, and they're a massive, they're a weak, easy to defeat enemy in the game, but like they are so prevalent. Like when you play Fallout, there's going to be Radroaches in it, even if there's like other things in various games. The Radroaches are there consistently. Yep. So my guess is we're going to get some sort of like Radroach skewer or Radroach salad or something where it's probably going to be like tofu, or maybe not even tofu, but some sort of like not meat item, because it's going to be it's supposed to be bug meat, right? And Radroach meat. And I'm sure there'll be other items. I can't think of exactly like what they could pull. I mean, because I'm thinking more show. Obviously, it's based on the show, so it's probably going to be pulling stuff from the show. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some sort of like, what do you like a souvenir cup or souvenir something.
Okay, kind of like they did with Last of Us, like a ration
like what
cup.
they did with Last of Us. But I'm thinking like they have in the show and in the game, they have the purified water containers, which are like very recognizably Fallout, and maybe they'll do a can wrapped in that icon and put something in that, or I don't know. And one of the things I'm hoping for, I don't know if they'll do, but if they bring the blood bags back, do them as Radaway bags, and have the drink be the Radaway bag.
Oh, that would be perfect. If you're ever gonna do it, right?
If you're gonna bring back a blood bag item, that's kind of like what I think you would do it. You base it on that.
And that's sort of a safer way to do it and reintroduce it, because it's sold at
I think
the booth,
so.
Not people walking through the park, and you could buy 10 of them in a span of an
hour.
hour.
And it doesn't even have to be alcoholic. I mean, it could just be like a, I mean, obviously if you're going to do it, you might as well make it like the adult Capri Suns. Like that's what the blood bags were. And I know that they have kind of a negative connotation. I know that's why they got it. I'm assuming that's why they got rid of them, because it was kind of like, I don't know if it was just,
it was so accessible that it was
an aggressive form of alcoholic beverage, and I think probably kids could get it a little bit easier than, even though you would think that they would control that. I don't know. Whatever the reasons are why they get rid of it, if they were to bring it back, I think this is the perfect IP to do it with, because they literally have IV bags called Radaway, and you can make it based around that.
Yeah. If you're gonna sell a drink at the booth anyways, like, you might as well.
Yeah, well, what's the difference between putting the drink in a fake light bulb versus a bag?
Yep.
And slap Radaway on it. You know what I mean? So like, I think that'd be kind of cool if they do bring that back. But that's just kind of like, I think wishful thinking. Like I don't think it's gonna happen, but it would be perfect for that particular that location.
Yeah, I'm curious if there's any like corn based food item.
Maybe I know that like corn doesn't play a massive role in the show. It's in the show because it's like the crop that they're growing, but like they don't make a big deal about it. So like I would be surprised if there's something corn specific. Yeah. But I think it will probably get like either something that's like, we'll either get like, Blammo mac and cheese, some sort of Blammo mac and cheese dish, or maybe we'll get some sort of I'm trying to think of what they call their, oh my goodness, the sweets. There's a specific sweet in it, but I don't know. The point is we'll get a couple things that are like obvious, like from the Fallout universe. Like there's food items from the Fallout universe that will be there in some way. But yeah, I think we'll see something like that. Maybe we'll get like Blammo mac and cheese mixed with like rad roach meat or like some sort of like radiated like animal meat.
Yeah, I would like that. So that's good. So then
Some
Firefly
Blammo and Brahmin.
Yeah. Some fire. So the Firefly Funhouse. So my mind goes to a couple spots. I think this would be a good spot to do something like the Fiend Burger, where it's just those, like the good guy burger, like those just gross, throw everything at the wall kind of thing. I think this could be a spot for that gimmicky burger.
I would think so. I mean, I'm trying to think like he doesn't really have anything in his
food,
in his headspace that's like food related. So like it'll probably have to be something that they come up with. Mm-hmm. I mean, it could be something normal and just themed around the funhouse, but being a Firefly Funhouse, I'm sure that's going to be some sort of like over the top creation, like we've gotten a couple of years in a row with like the burger or a hot dog or something along those lines.
Yep. I'm also looking at the animals at the funhouse.
Oh, right.
Like, if we could have like chicken or like pork because of the pig boy and the Mercy the buzzard, some poultry style dish or some pork style dish would be good. Whether that's like ribs or whatever, I think that would be interesting there. Drink, your guess is as good as mine.
My guess is probably just some standard drink that they make, but you can get it in like a lantern cup.
That would be cool.
And it looks like his lantern.
Yep.
Again, I'm just kind of throwing ideas out there. I don't know how easy it is to get some of this stuff made. So like, as they were saying in their panel at Spooky, like their merch guy said, like we have to know a lot of this stuff at least a year in advance to start the merch. So maybe some of this stuff is possible if they have a year to build, like to get it made. I mean, I don't know how hard it is to make plastic cups or make plastic receptacles for beverages designed specifically for something. So maybe they worked with WWE and got these made up like based on the specs that they used for his lantern, or maybe they'll just come up with some basic idea. That's what I would think, is maybe do that. Maybe not. Maybe it'll just be some random concoction and they call it something that's related to the Firefly Funhouse. I don't know. Like the Firefly Punch or the Firefly Funhouse. Firefly Funhouse.
Just fire. It's just Fireball.
Right.
Firefly,
or just like a
Fireball.
Flaming Mo, but it's just not called the Flaming Mo.
The Flaming Fiend.
Yeah, there you go.
He did get burned alive. He did have an Inferno match.
He did. He wasn't happy about that, but he did.
No, he did it. So let's move around to the other IP booths that are not up, but we can only assume that they're going to be present somewhere. So let's go with Jason, Friday the 13th. Anything that pops to mind? All I got was this has got to be the s'mores dessert style thing.
I was thinking something camping related, so s'mores. And if they wanted to just make it easy, make like a s'mores, but instead of it being in the shape of a marshmallow man, you make it in the shape of his mask.
Yep.
And have it like be like the Jason s'more or something like that.
They did it last year. They did it last year with the Ghostbusters.
Oh, the Jason s'morehees. There you go.
Those Jason s'morehees. Yep. You heard.
I just gave you the idea, Universal. I know you're listening. There you go.
You heard it here.
You heard it here first. When we get there opening night and there's a Jason s'morehees, I'm gonna go. I called it. That was me.
Fucking brilliant. What a gent. That I like that. That's got to be on there. Just pencil it in.
Yeah, now it has to be. Like if it's not, I'll be disappointed.
If it's not, somebody tag them, because that's a missed opportunity right there. I'm curious how far they're gonna go with their beers, but if they sold a summer shandy here, I'd be down with that. I know we're coming out of that season, but it would make sense.
I mean, they do. Last year they had a booth with the Three Daughters, I think.
Yes.
Was it Three Daughters? So maybe they will have one of the booths with at least somebody's local craft brew. We're not going to get like a massive craft brew selection. I don't think we ever will. But like maybe we do get another Three Daughters booth, or if it's not Three Daughters, something else that's related. I wish they would talk to like Hidden Springs or Cigar City or someone in the area and be like, hey, we want to do like 2 or 3 specific beers for HHN. Can we come up with an idea? It doesn't have to be anything special or anything crazy. We just want to theme it based on a specific property that we have, but I don't know if they'll ever do that.
No, and you need to make enough for us.
Well, that's just it too. They got to be able to produce enough, and that's why they only give you certain options, because these are already being brewed at almost a macro level. So like they're not quite macro beers, but there's enough out there that they can supply the event for 2 months. So
Yep. So there's that. I was thinking of other camp stuff like baked beans, like dogs and beans,
but
or
I would
something
thought
like that.
maybe this is where we have the burger, like some sort of blood burger.
Okay, I could see that. Could you also do a bun in the shape of a mask?
You could, or maybe this is where we do this is where we get some sort of like sleeping bag. So like, you know how we get the walking taco, some
Yep.
sort of item that's in like what looks like a sleeping bag, or like
Okay.
in a bag, but they call it like the
Yeah. Yeah.
something along those lines. Just because
I
he's
get what
killed,
you're
he's
going.
like killed 2 other people with a sleeping bag in like
Yep.
over the course of like 9 movies,
Yep. I like
however
that.
many it is.
I mean, I don't think we're gonna top the Jason S'mores, so let's move
No,
on.
I
to
know. Well,
another
that's
booth.
obviously it. I mean, we coined that, so anybody
ours.
else calls it that, they got it from us.
Yep. Let's go to. So what do we got? We have Terrifier. Let's go Terrifier. The only thing there's 2 things I thought of for Terrifier. I think the drink will be a Bloody Mary style drink. I think that's just so fitting.
Heartburn City, man.
Yep. I think that'll be a Bloody Mary booth. And then I think you have to find a way to do some Art Krispies style thing. I think my idea was a Rice Krispies treat with, you could do like sugar glass, so it looks like shards of glass.
Yeah.
You could do fake little bugs on there, and then you could top it with like a strawberry frosting for blood.
Yeah, I'm sure
a blood
this will
splatter.
be like where the sweet booth, like where the special suite will be here. One of the special suites will be here. Just because it's art, and he's super. It's gonna sound like a weird description of his movies, but it's very sugary. It's a very sugary movie. So my guess is something along those lines, or with like, you know, super heavy syrup that simulates like blood or whatever. There's gonna be the gore snack will be here, but I also think that the house is based on his Funhouse, or not Funhouse, but like it's arts like circus or whatever the hell it is, right? So it's like, so it's like the Funhouse house. So
I think it's circus themed food.
Yeah, it's gonna be something
food.
circus themed, something messed up and gory, and like you said, sweet. So maybe some sort of strawberry shortcake type of dish, maybe. And then make it look like a bloody mess or whatever, or something along those lines. Maybe call it the bloody mess. I don't know.
I say this could be. We've said it now for 3 booths, but this also could be the burger booth.
Yeah, this could be the bloody burger too, because they're definitely going to do that again. It just depends on where they put that.
Or you could do the hot dog at this one or something like that. Like there's got to be there has to be a crazy burger hot dog somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Last year it was obviously kind of at the originals, the Carry, and obviously it could be at one of those as well. We don't have to get into any of the originals yet, because that's just I only have so many ideas, and there's not that many good ones right now anyways, so we're gonna go with just the IPs. And then our final IP, why can I not think of it? Five Nights.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
That's pizza. That's pizza.
It's pizza.
Now, do you think we're gonna get like just pizza?
No, there'll be. I think there'll be another item, because I think even with Stranger Things a couple of years ago, there was the pizza, but there was another item too. There were at least one other item, and then there was like 2 booths for Stranger Things, because didn't they have the
Yuri's like dessert thing?
And then they had like the ham and cheese thing, right? Or
so
something along those lines.
Yeah,
the spicy ham and cheese.
Yeah, they had the Surfer Boy pizza, and then I think they had a specifically Stranger Things booth.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if we'll get like the Freddy Fazbear pizza booth that will serve the Freddy Fazbear pizza, and then maybe some sort of like FNAF booth that does, because you're gonna have the cupcake, like that will have to be a sweet. I forget what the bird's name is, but
Chica.
Is it Chica?
Chica, and then the little thing is just called like Mr.
Cupcake. It's just called Cupcake. So like they'll have cupcake as a cupcake, literally that you can have, and I'm sure there'll be some sort of like adult beverage based around them. I would think.
Yeah, I think each booth is kind of. I think you can sort of pencil in adult.
There's at
beverage,
least like 2
dessert,
items and a drink, right? Typically.
Yeah, Yeah. So they kind of hit a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I think the pizza is going to be wacky. I think it's
Oh,
not going to be
yeah.
just
I don't
a
think it'll be your
pizza.
standard like pepperoni or cheese. It'll be something funny or punny, I
But
guess is the word.
supply wise, like I would almost want them to do just a Freddy Fazbear's booth, so that way if they could serve stuff in like mini Fazbear pizza to go boxes, I
Hmm.
mean that's a lot. They would have to produce a lot of those, but that would be a fun little keepsake as well. So I can get home and kind of clean it up a little bit so all the grease is out. But again, talking about the sort of almost that collectible style thing that you get with the food booths, that would be fun. I'm trying to think of like arcades and like roller skating, right? Like the shitty food that you get there. I think this also, I mean, like I said, it's going to have some sort of desserty thing as well as the
Yeah,
cupcake.
and like
I
to me,
think.
it's like with that, it's less the arcade and more like the Chuck E. Cheese. So like the type
Yeah.
of shit you got at Chuck E. Cheese, because that's
Yeah.
what's basically what it is. It's just
Yeah.
like, it's just playing on that irrational fear we all had of those, Chuck E. Cheese places.
Or rat pizza.
Yeah, that shitty cardboard pizza that was terrible, and
I love so much. I miss it every day.
your $2 beer, your 2 beer limit.
Yep. Oh yeah. But yeah. So those are the food booths. I hope we get some of those, in particular the Jason Schmorhees. But I think that's really all we got for today, unless you had any other ideas for food or food booth items or anything like that.
No, I kind of want to wait until we get more booths put up to see what they're going
Yeah.
with it, and maybe we can do more on it, or maybe we can,
That's
if we think of other ideas, because it's hard because right now we're just guessing. We don't know what they're gonna have for booths. I mean, are they gonna have a booth for every original like they tend to do? Are they gonna have, are they even gonna have an IP booth for every IP? Because I think they have, but
Yeah. I
Then
think
again,
that's
we don't know.
penciled in. I think that's
Yeah, we don't know
penciled in
if-
more than originals.
yeah, probably it's true.
But they did set a trend last year of like sort of because like you said, the Three Daughters, that was at sort of like the triplets booth. And
It was, yeah. They mixed
Yeah.
that in with the triplets booth. Yep.
So lots of cool stuff. But yeah, so that's all we got for this week. Next week, what we I alluded to, Seamus, I did remember. I don't think we're gonna have an episode next week. Instead, I think what we're gonna do is we have started to post the other day about restarting our fantasy football league. We held one last year with 16 people. 16 teams is a lot for a fantasy football league. It was fun, but it's if you're into fantasy football, you understand that 16 is too much, right? Because like you can't pick anybody up. Everybody's team has a bunch of people. It's really difficult. So we came up with the idea of we will have a Nick league and a Seamus league, and we will end our seasons like a week earlier, and then the winner from each one, obviously because they're two different leagues, they can't play against each other, but we're going to kind of tally the scores up against the two champions to see who would have won for that final week of fantasy football. So the idea is to have two 12-team leagues. We're going to do signups shortly. I'm trying to figure all that out. And I think instead of our episode, what we're going to do is try to set the draft times for either next Thursday or Friday, whichever day we are available. And we're going to live stream while we do our fantasy football draft. So during that, you can hop on and chat with us about obviously horror nights and football and stuff like that. But it's going to be more just us drafting. So that way we can put some
more
stuff
of a
out there.
kind of like a chill, just hang
Yeah.
out and chill,
Yep.
make fun of make fun of my draft picks, and
Yep.
that's kind of how it works.
But we're gonna stagger the draft times because you can only be in one league, but we just want to space it out a little bit. So we might start one like maybe 30 or 45 minutes before the
Yeah.
other, because by the time you're in the shit round, the other league will be starting. So it'll be fun. So keep your eyes peeled. Unfortunately, when we are doing something like this, it is impossible to schedule 26 people or 24 people. So we are strictly going to set the time of the drafts. And if you are available to make it at the draft and you are committed to the season, we will send you the link to join the league. I do want to not have a league with inactive players. So if you even think you might not be in it for the long haul, just save the spot for somebody else, because we had, like I said, 16 teams was a lot last year, and we had like two or maybe one or two people that clearly kind of just stopped playing. They just did not change their rosters. They were in last place. And and that was that. So we kind of want to do away with that. We want to make sure everyone is an active participant, and we would ideally make it so that you can make the draft time. So we're gonna set those. Me and Seamus will talk off episode and figure out what day works better. But either Thursday or Friday, I think, would probably be the best option. So it'll probably be one of those nights, probably a little bit later on, around 9 o'clock or so, start times on one, and maybe 9:30 on the other, Eastern Standard. So if you think you can make those times, keep your eyes peeled, because we'll make a post and we'll try to sift through and make sure everybody that wants to get in gets in. But unfortunately, we are a little bit limited. We're going to cap each league at 12 teams. So that way it's still a fun league without having to know who the third string quarterback of the Panthers is. Like, just it's unrealistic. But yeah, other than that, I think when you're hearing this, I think our shirts are actually back on sale. So if you missed out on our new shirts dropping, you can go purchase them for $16 over on TeePublic. I think the sale runs through the weekend, I want to say. So probably Friday and Saturday. And then obviously our 1 week until HHN Podathon is going to be kicking off on the 22nd. So that, if you are unfamiliar, which I assume most people are familiar with, that is our 1 week until HHN Podathon, where we put out a brand new episode every single day from Friday to Friday. These are full-length episodes. We have a lot of really cool stuff this week, or for that week, sorry. We are bringing back our HHN Fantasy Draft with a whole bunch of fun people, some that you will remember from last year's, some that are going to be brand new to both the draft and the pod in general. I think 2 people are completely new from appearing on this. We also have, obviously, our hype list episode. We are going to do our best to do a food and beverage deep dive as long as the menus come out in time. And we have a whole bunch of other ones. I don't want to spoil everything, but those are a couple of the fun ones. And don't worry, we have hot takes coming back. Hot takes will be in one of our episodes, which it's hot takes. We're going to continue the trend of doing our over/under wait time guests in our under or overachieve for houses. So a lot of wild stuff. There's still plenty more to come from that 1 week. I have the HHN homework video for the Wyatt 6 and Bray Wyatt coming out hopefully next week. I just filmed it today. And then HHN homework video for Five Nights at Freddy's will be coming a few weeks after that. It'll probably honestly drop maybe to kick off our 1 week. Maybe I'll extend it to the 1 week and 1 day Podathon, where the HHN homework video will come out on the day before that starts. So a lot of stuff in the pipeline. I'm excited. I'm already tired, but I'm ready to go. That's all we got, I think. Any final thoughts before we decide to go absolutely insane recording 10 hours of content in the next 2 weeks?
No, I mean, I'm not looking forward to it, but
it's for the people.
It's what I signed up for, so.
It's for the people. We always, you know what makes it worth it is all the people that do message us and are like, this made my week go so much faster. Like, thank you so much. Like, it also made selfishly, it made our month go faster, which obviously it helps. It is a lot of work. It is a labor of love. We say that it's every year. It's just fun, though. It's something that I do think people in the community look forward to, and I feel a privilege of being able to be that spot where you're like, hey, this last week sucks. Like, thank you for doing this. Like,
right.
It did make the week go a little bit faster. There's a little something to look forward to. So all the messages make all the work worth it. That is for sure. But yeah, that about wraps it up for this week. I'm very excited to see what pops up in the streets in the next coming days and weeks. But until next time, this is Nick.
This is Seamus.
Happy haunts. Thank you for listening to another episode of Fear and Beer, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. If you like what you heard, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review on whatever streaming platform you are listening to us on. You can find us on all of our socials at Fear and Beer Pod.